Have you ever had one of those days in Roblox where nothing goes right? Your internet connection is slower than a snail, your character's avatar items refuse to load, and every game you join feels like a personal attack on your skills. Well, let me introduce you to Blocky Bob. Bob was, for all intents and purposes, a completely ordinary Roblox character. He had the default smile, the classic blocky build, and a wardrobe that screamed, "I just signed up." But Bob had one tiny little extraordinary problem. His legs absolutely refused to load properly. I'm not talking about a little bit of lag. I mean, every single time he spawned into a game, his legs would wobble and jiggle like two strands of uncooked spaghetti. It was a sight to behold. One fateful afternoon, feeling particularly adventurous, Bob decided to join a game called Super Serious Obby of Doom. You know the type. The thumbnail is covered in flames and lightning bolts, and the description is filled with warnings like, "Only pros will survive," followed by a dozen devil and fire emojis. The server was packed with players decked out in expensive gear, all jumping and flipping with effortless grace. And then there was Bob, standing at the starting line, his noodle legs quivering with anticipation. The first obstacle was a simple series of small platforms. Easy enough, right? Bob took a deep breath and took his first step forward, but his left leg decided it wanted to stay behind for a moment. His right leg, in a sudden burst of independence, started moonwalking on its own. The result? Bob instantly plummeted off the map, letting out that iconic, dramatic oof that echoed across the entire server. He respawned back at the beginning, the laughter of other players practically visible in the chat. But Bob was not a quitter. He was determined. This time, he wouldn't just walk. He would improvise. He hopped, he twisted, he shimmied his way past the first few obstacles in a bizarre display of uncoordinated parkour. It was ugly, but it was working. He made it past the disappearing bricks. He wobbled across the thin balance beam, and he finally arrived at the dreaded giant spinning lava cylinder. This was the make-or-break moment. The cylinder spun menacingly, daring him to jump. Bob backed up, got a running start, or what passed for a running start with his chaotic legs, and just as he was about to make the leap of a lifetime, a miracle happened. His legs finally loaded in properly. Now they snapped into place, solid and stable. Victory was within his grasp. Except, he loaded in backwards. Without a moment's hesitation, Bob launched himself heroically toward the next platform. He soared through the air with newfound power, a beacon of hope for all glitchy players everywhere. At least his legs did. The rest of his body, still facing the starting point, went in the complete opposite direction. He slammed face first into the platform he had just jumped from, his solid backwards legs flailing uselessly in the air. Another resounding oof. Back at the spawn point once more, a message popped up in the chat. A player named Player27 typed, "Bro, you good?" Bob, with a sigh that could be felt through the screen, typed back, "My legs are trying to uninstall themselves." The other player responded with a simple, "LOL, RIP." Bob knew he couldn't give up now. He had come too far. He had to conquer this hobby, for the honor of every player who had ever been betrayed by their own digital limbs. So, he adapted. He learned to navigate the world backwards. He jumped with his back to the goal. He sidestepped through laser grids facing the wrong way. And he somehow, against all odds, managed to climb the final set of stairs. He was a mess, a glorious, uncoordinated mess, but he was doing it. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of oofs and face plants, he reached the final stage. There it was, sitting on a glowing pedestal, a giant red button labeled WIN! The question mark was a little suspicious, but Bob had earned this moment. He proudly waddled up to the button, his backwards legs carrying him to glory. With all the strength he could muster, he pressed it. The screen flashed white. Was this it? The winner's room? The leaderboard? The epic sword he was promised? No. He was teleported to a small, gray, featureless room. On the wall, in giant letters, were the words, "Congrats, you win! Now mop the floor!" And in his inventory, a single item had appeared, a mop. And so, Blocky Bob, the hero with the rebellious legs, spent the rest of his session mopping an endless digital floor. The room never got cleaner, and the task never ended. And, to add insult to injury, every 30 seconds or so, his legs would glitch out again. sending him slipping and sliding across the very floor he was trying to clean. It was a fitting end to his adventure, a cycle of clumsy effort and digital absurdity. But you know what? Bob didn't even mind. As he mopped away, he smiled his default Roblox smile, knowing he had conquered the super serious Orby of Doom in his own uniquely wobbly way. He was a legend, even if his only trophy was a virtual mop. So next time you see a player glitching out in a game, give them a wave. They might just be the next Blocky Bob on an adventure you can't even imagine. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic gaming stories. See you in the next one!